I'm from a family of 6 children, 2 boys, followed by 4 girls. My mom had us over a 20-year span, her first child born when she was age 19, and her last, which happened to be twins, at age 39. There was almost a 14-year gap between my older sister and I. No one really bats an eye these days when a nearly 40-year-old woman gives birth, but in 1972, it didn't happen a lot. Mom will turn 77 this year. She truly grew up in a different era. Also one in a family of 6, she was born to parents who had lived through the Great Depression a few years earlier in a small college town in central Illinois. She was frugal, resourceful, and traditional. She never learned to drive. We had a very old-fashioned upbringing, which as a 10-year-old was really kind of a drag. But as an adult, and now a mother of 5 sons, I can much better appreciate. I'll be reading a slightly modified version of a column called Babies Don't Keep that I wrote in 2007. I sat down to write and visited many topics and recalled a few published pieces that might translate well when read to an audience, but I kept coming back to this one because I think it conveys 3 ideas that all mothers need to be reminded of from time to time. First, that it's okay not to be perfect, and your home doesn't have to be completely spotless all of the time. It may be contrary to what a lot of you were told by your own mothers. I keep in mind a Phyllis Diller quote that I came across years ago. Cleaning your house while your kids are still growing is like shoveling the walk before it stops snowing. Secondly, babies grow up. It goes much faster than you think it will. Sometimes when you're flailing in the middle of it, it seems like the day may never come, that you'll get to sleep all the way through the night till daylight appears, or that you'll ever be done wiping noses and bottoms, or that you'll have a couple hours of quiet all to yourself. But it does happen eventually, and believe it or not, you'll miss it. And lastly, sing to your kids. No matter how bad you sound, and even if they beg you to stop, like mine often do, sing to them anyway. They'll remember it. So here's my piece. It's called Babies Don't Keep. More than any other words my mother spoke when I was young, those I remember best are, babies don't keep. It was the ending line to a poem on a plaque that hung in our home. She put the rhyme to music and often sang the words to us as she rocked us in her chair or we'd sit in her lap. She'd hold us close and we'd use her chest as a pillow, and she'd pat our heads and sing the words. The cleaning and scrubbing can wait till tomorrow, for children grow up as I've learned to my sorrow. So quiet down cobwebs and dust, go to sleep. I'm rocking my baby and babies don't keep. She'd always go into a high screech on that last note that I can't even attempt to imitate. But it would make us laugh, and then she'd tickle our necks and we'd laugh some more. Looking back, I realize now that she probably shifted quickly to laughter to prevent the tears from falling. By the time I was born, she was fully aware of how quickly children grow up, since she already had 3 teenagers, the oldest being 17. She had me a week before turning 37 and was older and wiser than the last time she became a mom at age 23. She was more experienced, more relaxed. She'd experienced a calm, natural birth when I was delivered, which she told me was much different than delivering a baby in the 1950s. I was delivered by Dr. Carol Rollins, a Northwest Indiana obstetrician, who Mom described as a pioneer in the baby business by making mothers active participants in the birthing process at a time when it was not yet common practice. While formula feeding was the norm when she had her first 3 children, Mom breastfed me. I think all of these things made my mom look at mothering with a new appreciation. I've taken my mother's words to heart, and I try to savor each of those moments when my youngest, now 23 months, is groggy and rests his head on my shoulder, or when my 3-year-old climbs into bed next to me early in the morning, or when my 5-year-old lands in my lap and asks, Mom, can I cuddle with you? There are undoubtedly always at least a dozen other things I could be doing right at that minute, from washing dishes to folding laundry to vacuuming the floor. But while I know the laundry won't be going anywhere, I have just a small window of opportunity to embrace those moments, to wrap my arms around my little ones and take it in before they're off and running again. And who knows if that opportunity will present itself tomorrow. So if you happen to stop by my house and notice a few cobwebs or a sink full of dishes, it's because I know those things will be there tomorrow, but babies don't keep.